that there are two sides to every story. There is two sides to every story. Yes, that's what's been said. It's been said that there are two sides to every story. The first side of the story is your side of the story. Mhm. That's one side. Your side is one side. And then there is their side of the story. And that gives you your two sides. Where you you get your side of the story. That's one side. Then there is their side of the story that represent two sides. Thus, we have the common understanding and belief that there are two sides to every story. But I would like to submit to the world on this holy Shabbat that I see three sides to every story. Yeah. I see three sides. I see there is your side. That's one. Then I see there is their side. That's two. But then there is also the truth. And that's side number three. Oh, my brothers and my sisters watching me on this holy Shabbat, you're going to be in trouble. If you decide to put all of your weight on quote unquote your side, and I promise you, if you try to put all of your hope and your dreams and your eternal destination on their side, you're gonna be in a whole lot of trouble. Then when should we put our moray, if that's the truth? Two sides to every story, and I can't put all on my side and all on their side. Where then should I put my faith and my hope and my trust and my eternal destination? I'll tell you where. You better learn how to put your heart, your life, your faith, your trust in the truth. Now, if you can hear the moray all right on this holy Shabbat, and you can see me all right, hit the like button. Let the world know. Oh my, he started off like this on the holy Shabbat. Yes, of course. Hit the like button. Yeah, we don't have to put in numbers no more. No. We put in like buttons. And right now it's 70 of you. How? How is it 70 people come in the room don't like the video? You don't like what I'm saying? You don't like the truth. You don't want to hear it. And yet you in the room though. So you're lying. You don't want to encourage the video, but you in the room. You're being self-centered and you're being selfish and stingy on the holy Shabbat. Hit the like button. Why? Because what I'm teaching you on this holy Shabbat is the truth. It ain't just two sides to every story. It's three sides. What are the three sides? Your side, their side, and the truth. Hallelujah. And I know some of you all just came in the room for the first time, saw I was live. You wondering right now, who in the world is this preacher coming here preaching like he got authority? Who does he think he is? Never mind that. It's not your concern. I done already moved past who I think I am. No, I know who I am. The question is not who do I think I am talking like this. The question is, who are you? Who are you really? I know I'm a child of Yahrahn. Don't ask me about what I know about me, who you think you are. No, I know who I am. I'm Dr. Yoshiyahu Dawid ben Israel. I am a biblical scholar of the Bible. Yeah, I know that's redundant, but I got to help the people of Mississippi and Louisiana and Southern Texas understand what I'm talking about. Yes, my scholarship is in Torah. It's in the scriptures. And I've been called by the Most High in these last days for such a time as this. To do what, Moray? To just keep preaching and teaching what everybody else been saying all these years? No. To give you Torah. Because they don't know it. Nobody knows the Bible. They're all liars. They're all deceivers. They're telling you that the law been done away with, that there is no covenant, that don't worry about none of the statutes and the commandments and the priests. and the precepts of the Most High Yah. That's what's going on today. But nothing more. Called out of that darkness into the light to be a light unto the people who sat in darkness. That's you. And I want to say this to the sneak listeners. I want to say this to the Gentiles. Do not allow my passion to be misunderstood for prejudice. Don't do it. Don't do it because you're gonna make yourself out to be a lie. Don't let my truth telling be interpreted by you as being prejudiced over one or another based on whether your skin is pink or whether your skin is brown. And I remember I said pink in the chat and somebody got mad. I said to myself, so you don't get mad when they call themselves white and nobody's skin tone, nobody's skin color is this. This is white. There's nobody right now whose skin color is this. So what color are they? More red, pink. And there are no people whose skin color is this. So my skin is brown. So I say brown. See, that's another lie. Yeah, people don't like that. I don't like it when he say that. I don't care what you like. My skin is brown. And it's closer to a reddish hue. Come from my Native American side. Looking just like my ancestors are described in the Torah. Burnt brass, brown, browns. Truth is going out on this Holy Shabbat. Can you still see the glory? Can you hear me? Can't you tell there's a difference in the color of my shirt and the color of my face? So I will not walk in the lies just because they become socially acceptable. Your skin is pink, you pink. If your skin is brown, you're brown. That's all right. I'm getting mad. I'm not operating in these weird social constructs that come down from some weird mindset of some kind of uh skin tone supremacy. Where'd that come from? I ain't gonna get into that. That's not my lesson. I just want you to know that we try to operate in truth at the Awakening Remnant Koalition. Now, if you want to know who I am, I just told you, now who are you? Now, second, support the work of the art. What? Yeah, first of all, hit the like button. 227, only 186 likes. I don't get it. Why did you come in the room you don't like the video? I'm asking you a question. Do you really hate the Moray that much? Do you really hate the work of the art? Do you hate these lessons? Do you just don't like what we're trying to do and waking up the house of Jacob? Are you so mean and so arrogant that you can watch a video that you know you like on the Shabbat and then still say, I ain't hitting the like button because I'm just that disobedient? Is that where you are right now as a person? It's weird. The like is right there. Now, if you don't hit the like button for yourself, hit it for somebody else then. Hit it for the one that may be scrolling, and because you hit the like button, it showed up on their feed. And they'll watch it and say, yes, even though the person that didn't want to hit the like, he hit it. I'm glad they did. Why? Because I'm coming out of the darkness. Yes, those who sat in darkness will see a great light. You're going to find out something about the Bible, the Torah. You're going to find out it's really the light of the world. That's what your grandpa told you. He said the word of Yah is a light, is a lamp He said, unto my feet. That's a light. Then he said, and it's also the light that lights my path. Yes. The Torah helped me see right now where I am. Preach more. I ain't got to my lesson yet. The Torah let me see not only where I am as a lamp unto my feet, but the light unto my path, meaning the Torah showing me where I'm going. Yes. Who's in the room? Singing. I started singing. Listen, not only is the word a lamp unto my feet, which means right now shining down on me to show me who I am, whose I am, where I am, how I'm supposed to be living right now. But it's also showing me it's a light to my pathway. It's telling me go this way. Yeah, it's showing me that there's a bright side somewhere where over yonder. Keep heading that way. Keep going that way. What? Home is that way. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We on our way to Zion. Where is it? Over yonder. Way out on the hill. The Torah will show you the way. Hallelujah. Anybody understand that? Put the like, hit the like button. Good to be in the room with you on this holy Shabbat. They say it's two sides to every story. The more we say, no, it's three. Your side, their side, and the truth. Support the work of the ark through tithes and offerings. Huh? Yes, biblical. And look, we all have to do it. Not just you. I do it. My staff does it. Our workers do it. What do you mean, Maureen? Yes, when you give to support the work of the ark, and we pay our staff, and we pay our full-time staff, our part-time staff, and we give our volunteer stuff, and when we do the work of the kingdom, what do? We give it back 10%. Plus, I don't know any of us who just stop at 10. Now, I ain't getting nobody's business because the Bible said tithes and offerings. But we don't talk about giving and supporting the kingdom and don't do it. That ain't us. As a matter of fact, this is the reason why I keep getting behind these cameras and lights. Even though 80 people in the room didn't hit like, I'm still in here because I like you. Ain't that something? 80 people came in, wouldn't hit like, but they was happy that I was here. Ain't that something? You ought to hit like. Ooh-wee. What if I treated y'all like you treated me? Just come in the room rebellious. No, we're not going to do that, Zion. The tithe does not come from the Morehyosh teaching. The tithe is from the Bible. It's part of our covenant relationship with Yah. That's why I tell the pig meeting preacher, you got no business even using the word tithe. I tell the so-called Christian, you have no business asking people for a nickel, a dime, or a quarter, because the whole purpose of the tithe, the principle and the purpose of it, is to support the work of the kingdom that you claim is done away with. Is to support our covenant relationship, is to support what the Bible calls is those who are set apart to teach and to preach and to operate in Torah for the good of the nation. And anybody talking about the law been done away with, then so is the tithe. The tithe is in the Torah. Yeah, that's what I tell the pig meetings. But see, y'all not like me, and I get it. But I'm telling the truth to my people. We too close to going home. Woo, we so close to going home. Oh my. The thing that I can do, like give tithes and offering, I'm gonna get that box checked. Yeah, there's too many other things I gotta work on in my life to be worried about no 10%. Let me check that box quick so I can start working on the weightier matters of the law. That's a lightweight matter. I can count to 10. That's easy. I get $100 and give 10 to the work of the kingdom. That's simple for me. But mercy, justice, faith, trusting him like I'm supposed to. Well, how about forgiving one another, going the extra mile, studying to show myself approved, staying on the right. Now, those are the things, boy, I got to work on all the time. But that little tithing offering, man, that's a quick check button for me. Click and move on with the weightier matters of the law. Now, let's see how many in the room. There's around 300 of us in here, if y'all still hear me. And I already know that it's not perfect. I've been checking the videos. I've been going online trying to figure out what the problem is. I've been going in the chat rooms trying to figure out what the problem is. I've been asking all manner of professionals that do this work full time, and they said, we don't know what that problem is, Maureen. So all I'm sharing with you is if you can see me okay and you can hear me okay, hit the like button. Now let me look. If you're in the chat, just write in, hit the like. Let me see. Is that Z in the room? Shalom, Z. Who else is in the room? Boy, I can't hardly see. Boy, see Bruce in the room. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Well, they rolling through here now. Hallelujah. Gia's in the house. All another blue wrench just run through the screen so fast. Shalom. And all of you that's in the house. Shalom. Shalom. We're going to fix some things. What is that, Lord? First of all, we got to fix the preach, watch this, myth. Boy, when I said myth, wait a minute, Hananiah Projects is in the house. Shalom, Jazz. Good to be in the room with you. When I said the word myth, all of the heathens and all the slumber brews all over the world, slumber brews spit up their coffee. All of the heathens spit up their tea, their Bloody Marys. Oh yeah, I know y'all be still drinking that Bloody Mary and all that kind of stuff. Boy, I said the myth of 4th of July. Y'all like, oh my word. Who is this nigger? Calling the 4th of July a myth. Never mind who I am. Don't worry about that part. You need to go find out the definition of a myth. Mhm. And when you find the definition, then come back in the room and apologize. Because when I say the myth of the 4th of July, I have to let you know that the world has been given an embellishment. The world has been given an overly positive exaggeration. In other words, you've been given propaganda. You've been given mythology. You've only been given one side of the story. And if you still rolling with the moray, hit the like button. And all you heathens, I understand your knee-jerk reaction. Stay in the room. Don't go nowhere. Stay in the room. Because our people are caught up in the mythology too. So I'm not just talking about you because your skin is pink. I'm not talking about just because you come from Europe. Our people, most of our people are really more pink than you. Don't worry about what their skin is on the outside. Don't worry about that. They're more pink than you. They gonna kill more dirty, nasty swine and consume more pots of abomination on today than you will. So don't get mad at the movie once again and put me in some weird prejudice category. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just going to show you the myth. It's two sides to every story, right? Now I said it's three, but it's two sides. There's a coon. There's a coon online. Or there's a lot of coon, but there's a coon that does the high level cooning to a level that I have never seen coonery and buffoonery. And he said something the other day that I've been laughing about every time I think about it, but I chuckle to myself. He said, July is White History Month. He said, July is White History Month. And he said, why? He said, because it just feels white. Now, for me, I wouldn't have said that. I didn't say it. That was a coon said that. I would say, I would say that it's all right. For 1 month of the year, I would say that. I think y'all should have. I wouldn't call it white history though. I would call it pink European history. 1 month where we actually take out time and really examine the true history of the pink European. And let's actually look at it. Wait, hold on. I ain't talking about what this coon is talking about. I'm saying when I thought about it, because it was funny when I heard it. Cooning to a high level, trying to get people to follow him and I get it. Make your money, man. You do you. That's your character. Play your character. But for me, after I thought about it for a while, I said, you know what? Pink History Month may not be a bad idea. Where you would take 1 month out the year. You know how they do us, right? They call it Black History. Anybody in the room ever heard of a month called Black History Month? If you have, hit the like button. If you've heard it. If anybody ever heard of a Black History Month, put it in the chat. Hit the like button. Let me look at the like. Wait a minute. Do you know it's almost 100 people in here ain't hit the like yet? What is y'all doing? Boy, look. It's discouraging to the movie. I need you to hit the like button. I don't want to leave on the Shabbat discouraged. I want to leave on the Shabbat encouraged. And when you don't hit the like, you know how that make me feel? 100 people sitting there watching me like this. It's a bad example for the short leggers. Come in the room, hit the like button. Watch. I'm going to say it one more time. Let me go on record. I really think after I laughed at the coon, because our coonery, the high level of coonery and buffoonery amongst our people, boy, it's on another level. But after I laughed at him, I started thinking about that. I said, the pink European needs to learn their history. And there should be 1 month where none of their history is swept under the rug. None of their history is hidden. None of their works are, are concealed. But everything that they have done and are doing is actually revealed. That means for 1 month. You know how they do us, right? This person did this person said this slave did. Because that's what they mean when they say Black history. They don't never tell us that we the house of Israel. I'll get to that in a moment in the sermon. They don't talk about that part, but they talk about everything we've done, right? Not only the good and but the bad, whatever they consider to be bad. But that month is a focus on one particular people group. And that's so-called the black man, which is crazy as hell because skin tone don't define nobody. But for now, what if we said, let's take 1 month, that's how they say it, and let's have a white or a pink European History Month where all of the deeds and the works of the European, the backroom deal, the colonization, the wars, the fighting, the killing. Man, we can bring up all that, how they hook up with their own mamas and cousins and sisters and brothers and how the A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y Z plus star asterisk comma dash and mark ampersand mark infinity. Why don't we do that? And I said, that's a good idea. I said, you know what? That's what we need. Give them a chance to tell their side of the story. Let it all hang out. No more lies. No more deception. No more fraudulent speech. No more trickeration. Tell the truth about everything during that 1 month. Get it off your chest. And let's put it out for the world to see. It'll be called Pink History Month every July. Y'all still rolling with the moon ring. Still rolling with the moon ring. Hit that like button. Everybody hit that like button. You still hit rolling with the moon ring. What time is it? Total Rebal, y'all in the room. The 4th of July has been given to us as a great celebration of so-called freedom. And everybody is supposed to remember how the European got their freedom from the other Europeans. That's what this is supposed to be about. And we're supposed to honor them. And we are supposed to take on their spirit, their love of country, their dedication, their willingness to quote unquote die for freedom. Right? That is how the 4th of July is being taught to people. That is the mythology side. $2 for Yahrahn. I don't think he's in the room, but if y'all haven't checked out what's he brewing, he put out, I think the last one was something about free dumb dummies. He said free dummies, free dumb dummies, right? Dumb freedom, free dummies, or something like that. Boy, I laughed till I cried. I said, Yahrahn, boy, you out here making blogs, but in the blog, There was something there though. I had to look at it. I said, wait, hold on now. You done said something. He said the way the mythology is being taught is that you would think that this pink European was in slavery. And then they broke away from their slave master. That's what he said in the blog. That some kind of way these people were in chains. They were in shackles. They were slaves. And these slaves got together and fought the slave master and won and got their freedom. That's the way it's being taught. And so we go around here talking about freedom, as though these people wasn't free. Are you still with the moon ray? Hit the like button. They trying to make you feel like they was in shackles, like we were chained, like we were being beat all day, like we were working from can't see in the morning till can't see at night, like us. No shoes on our feet. That's what they trying to make you feel like, that they was being scourged and hung from trees and all of that madness. And then they got together and by sure might of their own, they whipped the slave master and took over and established a land of freedom. That's what they're trying to give you. That's the mythology. There's two sides to every story, as they say, right? I say there's three. But that's their side. That's the heathen side over here. But what about the other side? The British that were here, remember, they were sent over here as colonizers to create a foothold in the land of the Americas. They were not Americans. These are British. These are Britons. And they are coming to a whole nother land called the Americas, who were already populated by hundreds, listen to the moon rate, of millions of people in cities, countries, inside nations. There were some 40, 50 more nations, nationalities of people with history that went back almost 12,000 years. That's if the world had been here that long. It went back to the flood. And the European in Britain said, we want to take that land from them. We're going to steal it. And we're going to kill those people. We're going to massacre them. They called them, even in the Declaration, they called them savages. You pink people in the room, don't you get mad at me. Google it first. I told you we need a Pink History Month. So y'all stop getting mad at the moon, right? I'm not supposed to bring it up. This is the month you said to bring it up. The word savage is in the Declaration. Oh my goodness. If anybody knows that the word savage is in the Declaration, and I'm not just talking, would you help the world out and hit the like? Y'all that's coming in the room, would you hit the like? At 70 of y'all hit the like, and oh my goodness. Ooh, this message is too rough, I guess. If anybody have seen that they use the word savage in the Declaration of Independence, that the Moray not just talking, would you please hit the like button or post the link so somebody can see it? It's in there. I'd have read it 1,000 times. Yes, they all hitting the like and thumbs up, letting me know what. Oh, yes, Moray, it's in there. Now, who are the savages? The ones living their life? The ones just having cities and nations and families, uncles and cousins and nieces and nephews hanging out with one another, living off the land in harmony with the land, moving with the migration, moving with the wood, moving with the seasons, operating on large scale, primarily, I said primarily, I'm absolutely telling you, primarily a peaceful people. When the European came over here, he couldn't believe that these people here, millions, hundreds of millions of people here, didn't even have what they call weapons of war. Do you understand that? Yeah, we're not talking about the myth now. I'm talking about, I'm not talking about this, I'm talking about what they wrote down. They said we were shocked that they did not have weapons of war. What did they have then, Moray? They had weapons to go out and get food. They had hunting things. They hunted like deer and stuff. So all of their tools was about hunting and gathering and stuff like that. It wasn't made for people. They couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe how easy it would be for them to come over here and massacre these people. It was almost unbelievable. And they figured if they didn't come and do it right then, that somebody else would. And therefore, they were trying to remember this is a beast. The system is a beast. Remember that beast is crawling, right? He's already did Africa. He went through the whole continent of Africa already. He's already went through Asia. So the next place the beast is coming is to the Americas. And he sees over in the Americas that the majority of the people here were just living life. All right? How in the world I got this thing on do not disturb and something is being able to break through? Boy, I tell you. All right, so this beast now looks over and sees the Americas and he's like, oh man. And so they decide to set up colonies. So the colonizers are not against Britain. The colonizers are Britain. The colonizers are not against England. The colonizers are England. The colonizers are not against English. No, the English are sending the colonizers. Do you understand that part? There is no problem between Britain and colonies. None. Why? The colonies belong to Britain. They are British colonies. They're European colonies. The Europeans said, we're going to take that land over there. And then they got people together and said, who would be willing to go over, just like they did in Africa, who would be willing to go up and set up some colonies? A colony is like a fortress or today we would say a base. We would say, who would be willing to go and set up a base so that we can have British presence in the colony, in the new land, or on the Americas? And so you had these people willing, on behalf of the kingdom of Britain, they came over to colonize this land and to take it, to possess it, and to have it on behalf of the king, right? There was no There ain't no slaves escaping. That's mythology. There is no leaving to get out from under the king. That's mythology. It's not why they came here. They didn't escape from England. They voluntarily left in order to establish English colonies. If you understand that, put the like in. Why more? Because I'm just giving you a little white history. That's all. I ain't never heard that. Yeah, because you haven't heard the other side of the story. So let me give it to you. In the next few minutes, let me give you the other side of the story. You've heard the so-called USA side. Let's listen to what the side of the English say. Because there's two sides. They say to every story. So let's listen what the British say. The British said, ah, those are our colonies. Great Britain was already established as the greatest nation on earth. And basically, nobody could stop us from expanding our kingdom to the whole world. Great Britain had already subdued almost the entire world. The Americas, think of the Americas as just land right now, a landmass. Don't think of American because that's just like right now. They went into South Africa, right? The English did, and now they're calling themselves South African. They went to Australia, an entirely dark brown country, killed all the Australians basically down to almost nothing. And then because they started staying there, they started calling themselves Australian. Just like when they came to the Americas, these are British people. They just started calling themselves American, but they're British here. And the king is the one who sent them out to develop the colonies because a couple of other European nations had beat them here. Preach more. Yeah. France had got here, and Spain had got here, and the Americas. I mean, and the Brits was like, "Hey, shoot, we finna go over there," and they got together and settled the colonies. It's true. So now the question is, so what is this whole Fourth of July thing? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you the myth. I showed you already know your side. Let me tell you their side. This is their side. They said they had invested hundreds of thousands of dollars. It could have been into the millions of dollars back then. I'm talking about Britain. And doing what? Number one, the ships that brought them over, the crew, the food, and all of the supplies for the colonies came from Britain. It would be just like America or any other place when we set out to set up a military base, right? Whether we set that base up in the Philippines, whether we set it up in Guam, or we set it up wherever, we don't just set up the base and then don't support it. No, we pay for the ships or the planes to get them over there, the food, the sustenance, and guess what else we do? We also provide military protection. Why? Because when you go to steal people's land, you better have somebody there watching over the people who's stealing the land because the folk that you're stealing the land from are going to fight. They're going to fight for their home. They're going to fight for their wife. They're going to fight for their child. They're going to fight for their uncles and aunties and their grandma and grandpa that you're coming to kill. But because in your mind they're savages, you've reduced them to some kind of thing lower than an animal. So you feel like it's like I'm just going to clear out the land of the rodents. I'm just going to clear out the land of the stuff that's bothering us, because once we do that, then we'll have it to ourselves. They didn't think of us as humans, as actual people. And they all agreed to become a part of that genocide. All of them. And everybody was in on it together. There is no fussing and fighting between England and the colonies. The colonies needed England and Britain to survive. And millions, I'm talking about their side, millions of dollars, millions of hours of manpower was being given to the colonizers on behalf of the English government to make sure that they have military protection, that they had food, that they had trade, and also that they had a military imperial defense. Why? Because of the French and because of the Native Americans that were already here. And remember, they're not Indians. India is on the other side of England. This was not India. Those people were not Indians, they were indigenous. It's a difference. My people were indigenous here. That means here when you got here, right? So they had to fight the French and they had to fight the indigenous people. So when they got here, England provided that protection. You rolling with the Moray, where we at on time? If you're rolling with the Moray, hit the like button. And if this information is helping you, whether you like it or not is not the point. If it's helping you support the ARK through the tithe and the offering, that is a righteous exchange. It is. Why? This information, you just can't get it anywhere. And I told you, everybody is on somebody's payroll and they're afraid. They're afraid to talk like this. You can't talk like this nowhere. Why? You'll be fired before the morning. The pig meters can't do this. What I'm doing right now. I'm gonna say it like this: they bet not, because one, they don't fear Yah; they just fear man. So let's go back. The colonizers are not Americans. The colonizers are British. The colonizers are working with Britain to take the Americas, to kill all the people that are here, gather all the resources for themselves, for the purpose of the crown. Right? So these people have agreed to go over to help colonize the land. And in return for them going to colonize the land, listen, there's still Britons, and to colonize the land, Britain gives them almost unlimited military support, food support, as well as as well as money to sustain while they're here. The military also, I'm sorry, Great Britain also provided for them trade across the Atlantic. All right, just understand that. Why? Because remember, they're taking over somebody else's land. They don't have anything here. So when they need food and supplies and everything, right, they would have to get it by sea. And so it was Britain that provided everything that they needed. Okay? How long, Maury? hundreds of years. It's not no 2 days. That's the way they try to make it, that the colonies came over here and in 2 days they got mad. That's not what happened. Those colonies have been here a long time in the Americas. You ought to go back and research it. What are you talking about? I'm saying it's their side, and then there's the truth. So let's look at the other side. We're looking at it from the English side, imperialism. English, the English, remember, they're all Britons. So Britain loses people in those wars. People die coming across to help on ships. People die providing for the colonies. People give their life fighting for the colonies or defending the colonies against the French or the natives. And this goes on for years and years and years. So then something happens. The colonies say, we should stay here and let's take this land for ourselves. Forget Britain. Forget that damn king. Forget all that. Let's stay here and let's take this land for us. That's what happened. So Britain was like, what's going on in the colonies? And somebody said, it's rumored that they don't want to work under the crown, under the nation no more. What you mean? And we done paid for military protection. We done paid for soldiers, and we done brought over the ships, and we bringing over their food and their clothes and their shelter and their ammunition and weaponry and all that kind of stuff. Now they talk about they want to stay over there and don't want to come back here. Don't want to establish it for the king, for the kingdom. That's what they're doing, right? Well, and England told the colonizers, "Hey, what is y'all doing? We sent you on behalf of the crown." And they were like, "She, I don't give a damn. This place is nice. Y'all ain't getting nothing." Well, they started developing them colonies, right? They started trying to do their own trade and they started doing certain things, right? This is real life now. They got big. They started get, wait, I'm gonna show you the truth in a minute. You already know where I'm going, saw it in the thumbnail. So then this colony starts to grow stout. This colony starts to get proud. These colonies start to grow. And then they feel like they can literally fight. I'm gonna have to use the biblical term so y'all get it. They gotta fight against one of the 10 horns that sent them. Remember, they are not a separate horn. They grow out of the 10 horns. The last horn is the most fierce of all of the horns. It's the worst thing that ever happened to the earth and the children of Yah, according to the scriptures, was the birth of this little horn, which means the youngest one. So when the youngest one was sent here and decided they didn't want to go back, no, they didn't want to send anything back, then the law of the land was everybody got to pay some kind of taxes. And this is the part where the mythology is kind of true. They said, well, how much should we pay? As since we already working here, We're already colonizing the place on behalf of Britain. Should we have to still give Britain taxes? And so Britain went into what they call Parliament, and they sat down and they discussed it, and they said, okay, so what should we do with the colonies that's over there? And you know what they decided? They said, okay, let's just tell them, I'm over exaggerating, but it's the truth. Let's just tell them that they only have to give like 2%. And that's exchange for us bringing them food, clothes, shelter, military presence, shipping lanes, shipping privileges, and all that kind of stuff. Uh, let's just say 2%, and that way, they will also be supporting the kingdom because we're supporting them. And the colonizers, you're not gonna believe this. After everything that Britain had done to establish them, the colonizers said, "The hell with your 2%." And Britain was like, "Yeah, but everybody else is being taxed like 26%. We only just making y'all give back 2%. But look how good you guys are doing as a colony." And them, boy, let me tell you something. Them white wig wearing, lip gloss having, rouge on cheek, high heel shoes, and white stockings. Boy, they got together and says, "We shall not give them nothing." It's like, what? We're not giving them nothing. To hell with the crown. To hell with the crown. To hell with the crowd. So what about the ship in the harbor? Sink it. Sink it. What about the tea? Pour it in the harbor. We shall not give 2% representation, taxation, without representation. We got, you getting everything you want. And you're not represented. You're Britain. You are represented. You are British. You still, but whatever you can't, okay, let me give an example, right? Let's just say, right, I'm from California, and I'm gonna use Nat. Nat is from Louisiana, right? And let's say me and him were part of the colonizer. So we now are in another land colonizing, right? Because we're in the land colonizing, they give us a 24% tax break. We ain't got to pay but 2% because we decided to take this job as a colonizer. Does that mean that I'm not from California and Nat ain't from Louisiana? Because California still represented, and California and Louisiana still represented. So they were like, we're not represented. They like, nigga, you are represented. What do you mean? You're still Britain. All the British have representation. So if you want to get a message to the king, you need to call your state representative, your local representative. You need to call your Senate. You need to call somebody because you're still Britain. And they use that to do what? Rebel. It was not a revolution. It was a rebellion. It was not a revolution. I'm talking about from England's side. What they saw was criminals. They saw people who were trying to make criminal behavior, they try to legalize criminal behavior. They didn't didn't look at them as just people trying to be free because they didn't never see the colonizers as enslaved. They looked at these people as people who were who who were really guilty of tax evasion. Don't do that, more. Right? Wait a minute. Tax resistance, tax rebellion, tax evasion. We ain't paying nothing. That's what they say. They said, the hell with you. We living here now. The England side. You Americans, stop getting, you USA people, you know who you are. I'm proud to be an American. Stop getting mad at the Moreh. I'm not talking about your side of the story. We've heard your side. I'm showing them Cheerio side. You know, Cheerio. Cheerio got a side of the story. Mhm. The Cheerios, they also have a side that they want the world to know their side. They said, man, these lipstick wearing what they rouge and white wigs and fat buckle high heel shoes, prancing and strutting around like peacocks, talking about they don't want to even give 2%. They ungrateful ingrates. They are criminals. They are tax evaders, tax resistors. They're the rebellious people of England, of Britain. They're traitors. They were supposed to go. We sent them over with money, ships, military, food, trade, and all manner of protection. They got over there and said, shoot, we want this for ourselves, and we ain't gonna do nothing. And so they ended up betraying us. That's what England said. They betrayed us. That was not a revolution, it was a rebellion. And the leadership was labeled traitors. Why? Because they took, listen to the Moreh, because they, who? The colonizers, who are actually Britons, they took up arms, weapons against their own quote unquote lawful government. And did what? Started killing them. Now, if you're still rolling with the Moreh, oh, y'all didn't know this story. Oh, yeah. I got degrees. Y'all don't know nothing about. Don't worry about that. I can't tell you. Don't worry about who I am and where I come from. Don't worry about that. I done had too much learning. Not too much learning, but way more than you know. Hit the like button and support this work because some of y'all never heard the other side. Why? Because here in the so-called Americas, under the the USA company, the other side is not allowed to be told. You only get one side so that your mindset, your opinions, your disposition will be based on the propaganda and not on listening to what the other side said. This is what the other side said. How dare you take up arms against your own government? Remember, I'm going to say it again. These colonizers are not slaves. These colonizers are citizens, some of them high-ranking citizens in England, in Britain. These colonizers are not slaves. They're doing whatever they want. As a matter of fact, if I get time in this lesson, these colonizers had slaves themselves. They're not slaves. These colonizers own slaves. If y'all got that, hit the like button. Matter of fact, it's 433 people in the room and only 370 y'all hit the like. Are you trying to tell me that it's over 50, something, 60 people in the room don't like the Moreh teaching? I don't understand that. Why are you so Why? Why wouldn't you? Look what you're getting on the Shabbat. I'm trying to help you, not only the house of Israel, because I got to get to where my lesson is. And I know I'm long today. It's okay. I got to get to my lesson in a moment. But I want you to see, I want you to understand there's two sides to every story. And that's the other side. So they see the colonizers not as a revolution, they see it as rebellious criminals that have killed our people who have been sworn to protect them. And therefore, we must discipline them some kind of way. And on top of that, they sink in ships and throwing our hard-earned work and hard-earned food and hard-earned goods into the sea. What is wrong with these people? I'll tell you what's wrong with them. They're that little horn. That's the part that you can't see. You don't know that the 4th of July is a marker. It marks the birth of the fourth beast. No, it marks the birth of the little horn of the fourth beast. And that's an easy way for you to remember it. July is the 7th month. This is Daniel chapter 7. July 4th is the day you're celebrating. You can remember that easy by connecting the fourth beast. So you can put the sevens together and you can put the four together. And you'll always be able to remember that they are not celebrating an independence, they're celebrating a rebellion. And by celebrating this rebellion, what they are showing you is that they are celebrating the birth of the beast, of the little horn, born out of rebellion, uprooting those other strong horns until he becomes strong. And I told you, England, Spain, and France. Once once these colonies get together, man, something happened and they grow faster and stronger and they replace and they overthrow three of the kingdoms. Daniel chapter 7. So what we're looking at, Moray, the colonizers benefited from protection against the French and the Native Americans. The colonizers benefited from the fact that it was Britain that maintained their military fort, what we would call today the bases. Britain is the one that supplied the troops. Britain was the one that also provided naval protection of colonized shipping. Britain is the one that established for the colonizers what's called colonial governments. Britain is the one who supported the infrastructure that the colonizers were building here in the colonies. Britain and the imperial infrastructure is actually what established what is called the administration of the colonies. Yes, they benefited. They benefited. So the question is, did they benefit from anything else? Yes, the colonies benefited from metal. That was being Britain was producing raw metals, agricultural products, goods, clothes. Them wigs they was wearing, that lipstick and that rouge. Britain was the one sending them the high heel shoes with them fat buckles. But Britain was the one sending them white gloves and carrying on. That all came from Britain. Rich boy. Yes. They are the ones that allowed, after a while, for the colonies to start generating income. And it was only then that they said they should at least give back at least 2%. So you make $100, right? Give two back to Britain. They say, hell no, we ain't giving you nothing. Don't that sound like this nation today? Yeah, no, man, we ain't giving you nothing. But what ended up happening was once the tensions grew so much that they ended up fighting a war. And they couldn't believe, Britain couldn't believe that they had to start fighting. Now watch this, their own colonies. Britain couldn't understand that. Now I'm gonna go a step further. Britain couldn't understand them fighting against the colonies fighting against Britain. One, it never been done on the place of the earth. It's the little horn. But number two, you got to remember they all family. So the crown is not thinking just about fighting right now. The crown is like, that's my cousin. Man, my nephew went over there. My son is over there. My daughter's over there. So should we really wipe out the colonies? That's my family. So Britain has this thing to where they're like, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight my own son. I don't want to fight my own child. The colonies are my child. Now, it's still the beast, and they still full of shite. So don't get that twisted. I'm just showing you that the beast of Britain sees the U.S. as its child because it had already established colonies everywhere. This was just another colony. It was another child. So Britain chooses. Now, this is the part that's also mythology on the US part. Britain chooses not to continue the war. In other words, the British took the high road. It's just like a parent, right, who sees rebellious children, and then the rebellious children turn against the parent after everything the parent does. Food, clothes, shelter, education, hard work, sweat, blood, and then you tell your kid to go do something, and your kid get mad, turn against you, and want to fight you. And you know, I could take his life or her life right now, but it's my baby. So then you just decide to let him go, right? That's kind of what happened. If y'all still following more, hit the like button. I said there's two sides to every story. I'm giving you the side from Britain. So all you Southern Baptists that still sneak listening to the Moray, don't, hey, don't be saying things about me you ought not, just because your leaders and teachers won't tell you the truth, or at least tell you the other side so that you can decide what was true. They asked in one place, believe it or not, what was it? I think New England. Listen to that word, right? I can do that. There's York, right? Here, because of England, Yorkshire, right? Then there's New England. Why? Because this is England over here. It's the New England, right? All these places, I can go there. I'm not going to do that right now. When you start listening to the name of the colony, that's all English, right? They had actually told one group in New England that they only had to pay 1 shilling. Just participate in the taxation because you are a citizen. Think about that. And they still went to war. So don't think that they went to war because of high taxes. It's not why they did it. High taxation was not the issue because they were being taxed the lowest of all of the kingdom of England. So what was it? It was rebellion. It was theft. It was greed. It was wickedness. And from the perspective of the British government, the actions of the American revolutionaries were considered war crimes under British law. Why? Because, first of all, number one, raging war against the crown was high treason, especially when the crown, I'm talking about from their side, hadn't done anything but supported you while you went over there. It was a high crime to kill the soldiers of your own country. Number two, and this is all written down. Everything I'm getting ready to read off to you right now, with the time I have, this is all written. This is not from the Moreh. I pulled this down out of the internet. I want you to see what England said. England said number one, high treason. They went against the crown. Number two, rebellion and insurrection, organizing armed resistance against the British government. Number three, they said they're guilty of sedition. What does that mean? Publishing and encouraging resistance to the crown and its laws. Number four, the crimes of the colonies was this: tax evasion and customs fraud. They said that the colonies decided that they wanted to keep all the profit, so they were using, watch this, they were using the British ships, naval ships, to protect the trade, while the whole time they were selling, smuggling goods at the bottom of the ship and keeping on profit. Who? Your father with them white hair and that blow, the blush and the wig and the lipstick and the high heel shoes and the buckles. That's what they was doing. It's on record. The Brits got it all written down. They said, and there was they were tax evasion, illegal trade. The British law and the system were being violated every day. Number six, destruction of government property. What? Yeah. When the government would send over the boats and the ships, man, they tore up everything, including that tea that didn't belong to them. That was England's tea. Well, I'm trying to show you. The one that y'all called a Boston Tea Party. That was not yours. That was theirs. Oh, your pappy didn't tell you that side of the story. You need to dig up Pappy and ask him, Pappy, is what the Moreh saying the truth? Boy, he'll get up out the grave. Straight that white wig. Put on that lipstick and that robe. Slip on them high heel shoes and say, and, and, yes, we did that. Okay? Yes. You want another truth? We did that. I gotta go. Woo! Boy, don't go too far back and start asking Pappy. You're gonna find out, boy, Pappy, boy, what no. Boy, when he tell you we did that, woo! That's gonna check you up. No, and look, Pappy didn't tell you the whole story. He didn't tell you that they were guilty of riot. Look, I promise you, Maureen, I didn't come with this. I asked for a list. I wanted a list from England. What was the charges against the colony? And the England sent me this. They said rioting and unlawful assembly, organizing crowds that resisted government officials or destroyed property. Number 8, assaulting government officers, attacking custom officials, tax collectors, soldiers, or any other crown representative. Number 9, an armed attack on Bishop's troops, on British troops. What? Beginning with battles such as the Battle of Lexington and Concord. These colonizers were so off the hook. Britain say, man, they started fighting the soldiers that had given their life to protect them. You think I'm done? I'm on number 10. Theft or seizure of crown property. No. Yeah. They took weapons, ammunition, ships, supplies, and other government assets and just took them as their own. Number 11, piracy, privateering without lawful British authority. In other words, they were capturing British merchant vessels under commission, not recognized by Britain. Boy, you heathen. Boy, that little horn, when he started this country, he started, but you hear how he started it? Wait a minute. Number 12, the colonies, murder. British authorities regarded the killing of British soldiers and officials outside lawful warfare as criminal homicide. During the war, they also treated many combat actions also as treason. Number 13, conspiracy, planning to coordinate resistance against the government. Don't that sound like something today? I just let you think. That's all. This is what Britain said happened. This is their side. Number 14, violating acts of parliament, refusing to comply with such laws such as the Stamp Act of 1765 and the Townshend Act. And then, of course, number 15, boycott and intimidation. In some cases, coercing merchants or neighbors to comply with non importation agreements or punishing loyalists. 15 accusations against the colonists: high treason, rebellion, sedition, tax evasion, custom fraud, illegal trade, destruction of government property, rioting and unlawful assembly, assaulting government officials, armed attack on British troops, theft or seizure of crown property, piracy or privateering without lawful British authority, murder, conspiracy, violating acts of parliament, boycotts, and intimidations. These were the charges against the colonies. If you see that, hit the like button. Two sides to every story. Britain say, man, the colonies went over there, man, acting a fool and started killing us and going, and they came up with the 15 things that they had done against their own country, against their own nation, against their own crown. Remember, they were not enemies and they were not slaves. These colonizers just decided that they wanted this to themselves, even though they are not the ones that established it. Britain established the 13 original colonies. They were British colonies here. So this is your history. So the question is, how far were the colonies willing to go in order to fight against their daddy, right? Britain is their dad. How far were they willing to go? Remember, the little horn is more stout than the other. He is out of control according to the Bible. So how far is he willing to go? The war that everybody wants to celebrate right now, right? With the Declaration of Independence, and then you get the war, right? Um, they said the colonizers killed 24, listen to the Morehyosh, 1,000 British troops. Not two, not like the movies, 5, 7, 8, 9. No, 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 no. These colonizers killed 24,000 British troops. And the British troops actually killed 25,000 colonizers. This is the reason why I'm telling you. The Brits, their side of the story is they stopped fighting because they could have killed all of the colonizers. But they in their mind, they just decided not to kill their children, not to kill their offspring. And I know this is going to sound weird to the so-called USA, but for England and Britain to have any manner of conscience, it doesn't even seem that it's possible. But they did. And they decided not to keep fighting. uh, Altogether, on both sides of that war, it is estimated that 108,000. Did you hear what I said? 108,000 died just in the rebellion. I want you just to put that number in your mind. That the colonizers, as I mentioned before, this is the last kingdom, which is the little horn. The little horn was born out of 108,000 deaths of their own people. Because the colonizers are English or British, I keep saying British. The colonizers are British and England is British. So they were willing to kill 108,000 British people to break away from the kingdom. Not that they were slaves, but where they were citizens. Just want you to put that in your mind. That's how it started. This is what's happening today all over the world. They're celebrating this Declaration of Independence. But the part they're not telling you is that it started with that matter of bloodshed. Uh, you know what? I could end the message right here, but I got a question. Can anybody hang in the room just maybe like 15 more minutes? Hit the like button. Let me see if I can get out of here in like 15 minutes. I only got a little bit more to go before I can get to a good place to end it. If not, you know me, I'll stop right here and then we can pick it up like tomorrow or the next day. If you want me to continue, hit the like. Let me see if anybody want to hit the like button. I see right now it's 100 and I'm 480 people in the room, but only 440 of y'all like no, I guess. Well, I see the like. Somebody said keep on going, teach. Hit the like. Okay. Hallelujah. All right, so let me keep going then. Be patient. I know even people who say they love me is now starting to tell me I'm preaching too long. I get it. You're too long, man. Okay. But it is a video, you know. So the little horn is now born out of rebellion and bloodshed. Out of, according to England, this child has created, has committed at least 15 acts of rebellion, treason, sedition, murder, theft, and all the things I've read. According to them, this this child is out of control, completely out of control, willing to kill not only 25 of his own people, 25,000 of his own, but then another 25,000 of his family members. And then when you add up everybody, 108,000 to be born. All right? From that time until now, let's look at this little horn. Let's see what it has done since it got here. You will have to come back and review these, because the ones I'm getting ready, it's a long list. In the 18th century, which is the 1700s, right? It fought, this little horn fought the American Revolutionary War. Matter of fact, I don't even have them all numbered. I should number them. The American Revolutionary War, the Northwest Indian, which is really Native American War, and then the Quasi War. In the 19th century, this little horn fought the First Barbary War, the Tecumseh War against the natives, the War of 1812, the Creek War against the Creek natives, the Second Barbary War. This is all in one. 19th century, the First Seminole War, Black Hawk War. They fought the Second Seminole War. They fought the Mexican American War. They fought the Cayuse War. This little horn fought the Rogue War, then the Yakima War, then the Third Seminole War, then the Utah War, then the American Civil War, then the Red Cloud War, then they fought the Comanche Campaign, then they fought the Modoc War, then they fought the Red River War, then they fought the Great Sioux War of 1876, then they fought the War of Nez Perce. Then this little horn fought the war over the Apaches. Then they fought the war against the Ghost Dance. Then they fought the war against the Spanish American. Then they fought the war in the Philippines. Then they fought the war against the Boxer. In the 20th century, they fought what's called the Banana Wars against the islands and against South America. Then they fought World War I. We entered in 1917. Then we fought in the Russian Civil War. Then World War II. Then we fought Korean War. Then we fought in the war in the Lebanon crisis. Then this little beast, this horn fought the Bay of Pig invasion. Then this little horn fought in the Vietnam War. Then this horn fought the Dominican Civil War. Then the Cambodian War. Then the Megaz incident, or really Megaz War. Then the operation at Eagle Claw. That was a war. Then this little horn fought the Lebanon in Lebanon. The invasion of Grenada, one of the smallest islands in the water, that was bombed by the little horn. Then in 1986, the United States bombed Libya. Then the Tanker War. Then they invaded Panama. Then the little horn fought the Gulf War. Then Operation Restore Hope. Then the Bosnia War. Then the little horn fought Kosovo War. Then Operation Desert Fox. Now do you see how the Bible said, man, when that little horn was more stout than his fellows, pushing north, south, east, west, until he subdued the whole world and trampled them under their feet? That's not all. Let me tell you what else this little horn did. In the 21st century, there was the war in Afghanistan, the Iran war, the war against the Islamic State. In 2011, the military intervention in Libya, American-led intervention in Syria, Operation Prosperity Guardian, the Operation Poseidon's Archer, and multiple strikes and counterterrorism operations in Pakistan, Somalia, Yemen, Syria, and Iraq. And as we speak, Zion, we're dropping bombs in Iran. Not we, another beast. Yes. So when you start looking at it, the Bible says coming out of the 10 horns is one horn. Boy, he out of control. Which one? The last one. That last one ain't got no problem when it comes to the nations. He fought the Northwest Indian War, Seminoles. He killed all the Creeks, the Black Hawk, the Apaches, the Sioux, the Nez War, the Modoc, Red River, Ghost Dance, Wounded Knee. These are not small conflicts. In these wars, millions of people who lived here were massacred. When the beast decided to expand, Mexico, Mexican American War, Texas took that land from them. Spanish American, Philippine, then went to the Caribbean and Latin America, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Panama, Nicaragua, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Honduras, Grenada, Panama again in 1989. And I know this is all grouped together as the Banana Wars, but I want you to still see that this whole nation, ever since its birth, have been doing nothing but fighting wars, bloody massacres, global wars, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Gulf War, Afghanistan, Iraq, and now Iran. And then they got a bunch of wars. They don't even want to call them wars. What is that? They call them conflicts. Limited force conflicts. Like what? Bay of Pigs, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Bosnia, Kosovo, Syria, Yemen, and Pakistan, drone strikes, ISIS, anti-ISIS operation. They now shooting at the Houthis and whoever else. Yes. The truth is, the U.S. has been almost constantly involved in war, occupation, intervention, or military pressure somewhere in the world ever since its founding. If you were to take the number of wars that this nation has fought in the 250 years, you would see that this particular last horn has been in war at least twice a year, every year since it was born. It was born in blood. It was born in war. It was born in conflict. It was born out of rebellion. It was born out of sedition. It was born out of treason. I asked the question online: how many wars altogether? Listen to this number: one nation, 250 years old, have fought 481 wars, conflicts. Did you hear me? I know some of y'all, especially you speak listeners, is like, what is he talking about? No facts. It's just no, this is me. I researched this to bring it to you. All this information can be fact checked. because I've already fact checked it. So you know me, I'm trying to figure out. All right, hold on now. The Bible said that this last horn tramples the nations under its feet. Now you can see what this horn has done globally. You can see it. So then I asked the question about how many people have this nation killed in war since it was born? They said just an estimate. Listen, 50 million people. Since the birth of this last horn, when this horn came on the scene, which is the little horn that got stouter than all of its fellow, on record, just in the war, 50 million people. That sink in. We're not even talking about the number of people that died from the diseases that the beast brought over to the Americas and to the islands with them. Because now that number goes into the hundreds of millions. I want you to think about that. One nation is established over here out of these colonies that, because of just sickness and diseases, the numbers go over 100 million people dead as a direct result of this last little horn. And the killing continues. I appreciate you all being in the room, but I have to at least share this with you. You know all the numbers I just gave you? On purpose, I chose not to include the number of Hebrew Israelites that was taken into slavery during this time, because I wanted to have that as a complete separate. I want you to see this as heathen on heathen operation. At the same time, it's doing that in the world. Over 100 million people dead, killed in war. Not just got old and died. No, murdered, massacred. The number's too high. I get it. Watch. At the same time, this little beast, the little horn, accumulated 70 million Hebrew Israelite and turned them into their slaves. If you're still with the more, hit the like button. I said, from the time they started until the time they finished, which was 400 years, they said that the number was not 7 million, not 12. They say 70 million, quote unquote, Hebrew Israelites in that slave trade. Literally, the apple of Yah's eye, his chosen people, his nation, the house of Yehuda, and primarily Benjamin, I know, but I believe all 12 tribes is caught up in it. Levi, that's coming out now. Everybody's starting to see it. All the connections are making sense all over the world. Only thing is, little Tuck Tuck and little Candy, They boy, they bold to say, well, I don't know about who Israel, but they scared. They can't do what I do. I'm telling you, they took us. We are the house of Israel. Now, I dare little Tucky Tuck, he talking about how tough he is. I dare him to tell the world that. And little Miss Candy sitting up under the Catholic Church. I wish she would, I bet she won't tell the world that. And no good and well she read Hebrews to Negro. No good and well she hung out with Kanye. Ain't no way in the world you doing this matter level of research and you don't know that we were the ones in the halls of them slave ships, fulfilling Deuteronomy to the letter. But they can't say it. Just like these people, these preachers can't say it either. Why? Because they will be fired before the morning. And then y'all wonder why I ask you for tithes and offering. Because I don't have no church like that. I ain't got no convention like that. No. I'm out here on Yah's word to get you all truth. And the truth is, we were the ones in the hulls of them ships, not the Europeans who are claiming to be us today. They were not in them ships. You can't get around Deuteronomy 28 no matter how you try. It's the longest chapter in that whole book. 70 million. The average, look. The average person, listen to this, in slavery, under this beast, under this last horn, the average person served as a slave with no pay 50 years. I want you to hear that again. Children will go into slavery at 5 or 6 years old. Did you hear me? They would begin their work in the fields, or if they was in the house. Unfortunately, them pink nasty slavers, the girls were being abused, and it's just, I can't do it right now. And the boys too. They begin that kind of wicked slave activity at 5 or 6 years old. And they would remain in captivity and in those fields and in those slave, whatever, uh, 50 years. They can never get out. So the average age at that time of our people here was about 55 to 60 years old before we were dead. If you made it to 55, you was considered to be an old man. And when you couldn't produce, it's when they would then kill you. You would work your whole life. I don't like to promote movies here. I hate that because I think it's just sickening to do that. But there's some movies out, right? Where they showed a man who had just got old, that's all, didn't do nothing wrong. And they showed him the slaver man sicking the dogs on him and eating him in front of everybody like it was the thing. Watch the dog eat him. They would take the old people, I'm talking about 55 and 60, who had been enslaved since they was have been enslaved since birth, but I'm talking about worked their whole life, right? This time of year, some of them slavers would take the old people who couldn't produce, because remember, this is summertime now. They would douse them for fun with oil or tar or whatever. And they would bring them into the streets and set them on fire to the roar and the clapping of a crowd. I'm talking about while this beast is going conquering the world, he's hanging these people from trees by their neck until dead, burning them alive. And in some cases, this is gonna be rough on some of y'all, would eat us at the barbecue. I'm talking about the people would eat the slaves. They thought it was a delicacy. They thought it was something to be done. So they would call people and tell them, we getting ready to kill this so if you want a piece of him, you better hurry up and get here. And there are records of people trying to get to the killing, to the barbecue, so they could get a piece and eat it. Can you imagine the terrorism? You know what? They didn't think anything of it because in that day, and as well as today, this beast had already decided that we were not humans, we were animals. And because they eat pigs, they would eat a person. Because they eat possums and rats and all that kind of stuff, they ate people too. Now I'm gonna get into something they don't want to hear. It's okay. But y'all can now you got that phone, now you got that computer, now you can do research. You can even ask chat if you want to, or one of your chats. I don't know which one you use. Ask them about European cannibalism. You're gonna find out that wasn't that man, cannibalism was normal in a lot of places in Europe. And one of the things that y'all don't want to see is that Epstein Island stuff that's coming out, right? You're gonna find out they was eating people. You're gonna find out they ain't been doing that in the dark rooms, in the back corner, in basements, some of these high-rise buildings on the very top, sir, in the wilderness, in the deserts, in the mountains. All these missing kids, missing adults, you're gonna find out when all the secrets are brought out, when the Most High Yah retires, he's gonna put it on the record, and you're gonna see it. He's gonna put it on the screen, and you're gonna see why this particular so-called horn gotta be destroyed. If y'all still rolling with the Moray, thank you for letting me tax you your time. But I wanted to put this message on. Do you see the little horn? Do you know that no other nation rose to the height of this level of wickedness? Can you see that clearly? Hit the like button. Can you see it clear now? The mythology. Can you see there's one side ain't the truth? It's two sides. They say to every story, but I'm telling you, it's three. It's their side. It's their side, then it's their side, but then there's the truth. What is the truth? The truth is this was the birth of the little horn that stamps the whole world into residue under his feet. This is the one that decided to change everything and to dominate the world and to wear, at the same time, dominating the entire world, wearing out the saints. That was us. Born out of 15 criminal accusations, killing 108,000 people in the first war, then fighting another 480 something wars. The murder rate in those wars, man, reaching to, and then you got us, the slave, quote unquote, but really the house of Israel. That's what this heathen gonna find out in a minute. I did the research. I said, how much did they pay those slaves that they kept in captivity for over 400 years? Did they ever pay those people anything? You know what they said? No, zero. So I said, how many slaves was it altogether? They said cumulative enslaved people, an estimate 70 million. If every slave would have just got minimum wage, listen to me, for they would have made, let's just say, $15,000 a year. That's minimum wage, right? So let's just say they make $1,000 a month, but a little change. So I'm just going to use $1,000 a month, which is below the poverty line in every state in the union. But let's just say they gave a minimum wage. This country would have had to pay $52.5 quadrillion. Did you hear me? If they had to pay, I want you to think about this. This nation, working our people, profited over 52.5 quadrillion. In today's day, it will come out to 52.5 quadrillion, not trillion, quadrillion. Do you understand that? And then you wonder why they're the most powerful, the richest, the this and that and that. Any nation you give $52 quadrillion to, that's all the money that they would have to pay us if the slave was just getting minimum wage. 52 quadrillion. And then they got nerve to talk about, we don't owe you nothing. What do you mean you don't owe us nothing? You made $52 quadrillion and became the most powerful nations of the world because you traded the slaves. You traded the enslaved people. And you kept them working for average of 50 years. I couldn't believe that. The average slave you had for 50 years of free labor, each one, and then would kill them when they couldn't produce. Same thing they're doing now. But they're not going to get away with it. Now, thank you, y'all. Let me get to the end. I appreciate it. So, what's the next move? The little horn has got to pay. The little horn that became the most vicious all over the world got a. I heard a pink person say he got to face his comeuppance. You got to pay. A kingdom like that cannot continue to operate because the Most High is going to step in. When you read Daniel chapter 7, the Ancient of Days comes. I'm going to give you this and then bid you farewell. The Bible says, uh, Yah is the ultimate judge of nations. I keep hearing pink people say this all the time. They keep saying, okay, so what? We worked the person from 5 years old to 55 and then kill them afterwards. This is what they'll always say to you. And you got to watch this Zion, watch that man when he say this to you. They say, but it was legal. But they say, it was legal. And then the question is, who made it legal? You voted yourself. You voted that for you. You made it legal yourself because you think you have the final say, you little horn, you. But you just a little horn. You don't have final say. What's legal and illegal is not determined by anybody with pink skin. In that case, it ain't determined by nobody. It ain't determined by them Hamites either. What's legal and illegal when it comes to nations is determined by Torah. Why? Why? I read what Daniel told Nebuchadnezzar. I know you think you built this kingdom with your own hands, but you gonna learn something. You didn't build this with your own hands. Yah's people were disobedient. And that's the reason they had to go into captivity. They had started acting like you. So much so that they wasn't even keeping the Shabbat. So they going into captivity for 70 years. And when Nebuchadnezzar forgot what Daniel said, the Bible said he walked on his terrace and looked out over all the land and said, look what my hands have done. And when he said it, his mind slipped. Boom. And that fool got on hands and knees like an animal for 7 years out there eating grass. Everybody walked by and said, man, what is that thing? That's the king. No, I don't know what that is. That's an animal. Oh, yeah, he has to, till he learned something. What? That the heavens rule. And I'm trying to tell this little horn today, and everybody connected. This horn don't have the last say in this world. He don't even have it right now. Why you think Drew, little Donnie is so upset right now? Because he thought he would just say, stop it, stop it, stop it. Back in the day, that would be enough. He said, stop. But today, it ain't enough. Why? Power gone. Authority gone. Influence in the world gone. But yet you're going to celebrate. Let me give you some verses. Then I'm out. You can't build a nation on blood and violence and think it's going to stand forever. Talk to me, Habakkuk. Woe to him that builds a town with blood. Micah, come here. I'm talking about, I'm pulling my prophets now. These are my cousins. Micah said Jerusalem was built. Watch this. This is how we went in captivity. Built with blood and injustice. Nahum said, woe to a bloody city. Ezekiel said, the bloody city condemned for shedding blood. Ezekiel also said, woe to the bloody city. Rulers and corrupt laws. Isaiah said, woe unto those who decree unjust laws. You made a decree on an unjust law. Jeremiah said, you building by up unrighteousness and oppression. Oh my. Ecclesiastes says, boy, you in trouble if you got oppression in your government. Amos said, nations are judged. Amos chapter 3 said they store up violence and robbery. Amos chapter 5 said they're oppressing the poor. Amos chapter 8 said exploiting the needy. Isaiah chapter 5 verse 8 said woe to those who seize property and pervert justice. Jeremiah chapter 7 verse 5 says judgment and oppression and injustice. Yes, judgment is coming for those who oppress. Bloodshed and violence. Isaiah 59, your hands are full of blood. Hosea chapter 4, he said blood touches blood. that's cold right there. Oh my. In Joel, he said, you will be judged for your violence. Why? Because you sold us. You ought to read Joel the way it's supposed to be read. Obadiah said, oh yeah, it's going to be violence against the nation. And Zephaniah tells us that that oppressive and rebellious city is going to fall. Habakkuk tells us you can't be dishonest, you can't lie, you can't covet, you can't steal, you can't gain unjustly. No. And Babylon all through the Bible, let me just read something to you. Babylon is a model of oppression. Isaiah chapter 13, Jeremiah chapter 50, and the very last book of the Bible, we read that Babylon is fallen, is fallen. Remember, I told you, all of the nations of the world from Babylon in Daniel's time until now, that one statue, that's one beast, that's one continuous nation. And at the end, the feet crumble. At the end, the horn is torn off. At the end, the nation crumbles. Why? Because our king show up. That's the truth. That's the side don't nobody want to talk about. His side, her side. What about the truth side? Our side, their side. But what about the truth? The truth is, boy, you've been weighed in the balance and been found wanting. The truth is, the blood is on your hand. The truth is, you did stamp out the nations. The truth is, you did enslave Yah's people. The truth is, you do deal unjustly. The truth is, you are a whoremongering, warmongering, dirty, nasty, corrupt place and people, and you know it. And you got our people living here acting like you. When we didn't come here to act like you, we were supposed to be here so that we could be a light to the darkness. We're supposed to be here so that we could be a moral compass to a people who have no moral compass. We were supposed to be here to show you what it means to be righteous, holy, just, clean, caring, compassionate. But look what you did. Our people so messed up right now. I told you, we are now out heathing the heathen. Somebody just went outside to go light up the grill. Gonna put all manner of wickedness on that grill today. Worshiping gods that they are not. Following traditions of men that they are not. Celebrating freedom that they really don't have. Thank you all for being in the room. I appreciate it. But I got one more thing to say, and I'm out. This is it. This ain't no true freedom. Don't do it. Our freedom is different. See, real freedom is when our king make you free. And when our king makes you free, listen to you Hebrew Israelites, when our king makes you free, you're free indeed. Yeah. Only because of time, I'm getting out the room. But if you learned something today, what I need you to do is number one, support the ark with tithes and offering. If you're praying for us, then you should also ask to be a part of the answer to the prayer. Yahuwah bless more, and then you can begin the blessing. Just like I pray, Yah bless the people, and then I ask, and use me to do it. I know I ain't, I'm what do you call it? I'm a unfit servant. I realize that. I realize that I'm one of the most rusty tools you got, but I'm still asking to use me. Just woke me up where I'm squeaking. I know I've been on the. I know I've been out here a long time on your word, and why my exit day ain't too far from now. My exit day left is around the corner. I understand that, but while I'm here and I have the breath in my lungs and the sound of my vocal cords, and while I'm here and I'm still a little in my right mind. I just want to help you people see the truth. We got to be really free. And the only freedom is this freedom ain't coming from the beast. The freedom is not coming from the fourth beast, the little horn. Our true freedom is coming from our king. We're not celebrating no waving of flags and singing about this little horn and all manner of wickedness. No. When we sing, we lift up our voice like this. Hallelujah. That means give praise to Yah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's our freedom. That's our hope. That's our redemption. And you heathens, listen to the words of our King. The Spirit of Yahuwah, he said, is upon me. And he has called me to do what? To proclaim liberty. To whom? The captives. We the captives. And who captured us? You did. So our deliverance is going to be from you. You the captive. I mean, you the captors. But we realize something. It ain't going to be long. No. See, our year of Jubilee coming. Mhm. Our restoration is coming. The inheritance that was taken is going to be given back. The land that was stolen will be restored. The rivers will be restored. The mountains will once again have flowers. The dry riverbeds will once again flow with clean and clear waters. Our King is coming. This nasty language we were given by you will be taken, and we will be given back a pure language so that we can give our by our praise, honor, and glory the way it's supposed to be. Freedom is coming for us. We will sit under our own fig tree, Bible. We will drink wine from our own vine, Bible. We're going to study war no more, Bible. Nobody will be hungry again because of you, Bible. Nobody will thirst anymore because of you, Bible. There will be no more crying tears from our eyes because of you, Bible. There won't even be no sicknesses because you guys bring sicknesses all over the world and you create sicknesses in labs and all that kind of stuff, spreading that all over the world. Don't worry about all that. We finna get away from you around that too. Why? He said ain't no sickness gonna be there. And if by chance any sickness trying to get in, we got leaves that grow on trees. And one leaf of one tree will be good enough for the healing of the whole nation. No, you heathen. And no, you little horn. And you slumber bruise, you sneaky listeners. I got news for you. Our real celebration is right around the corner. Our emancipation, our deliverance, and our freedom is in our King. And our King is sure enough on his way to get us. Why? Time is up for y'all. And the handwriting is on the wall. Can you read it more? Yes, I can read it. I can read I can read my daddy's handwriting. Yes, I gotta go, Zion. One love. I've been in the room longer today than I've been in a long time. But I thought I would get this message out to the masses. Hit the like button. Support the ARK through your tithes and your offering. Pray for me, and I'll pray for you. And understand something. The 4th of July represents the birth of that fourth beast. It's the 7th month. And I have to remember it's in the 7th chapter. And you will see that also our King is coming to destroy it, save his remnant, and set us free. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. There's two sides to every story. That's what they say. I just showed you 3. You know this side. I showed you their side of the story today. But watch this. Soon and very soon, you're going to really see the truth. And the truth is what Yah said. Hallelujah. Hit the like button. I got to go. One love. Only our King. If you want to be free, you gotta follow the King. I'm done, but that's what he said. He said, you gotta follow me. If the Son, therefore, make you free, you will be free indeed. Hallelujah.